Hey, good afternoon, Ben. How are you?
I'm doing good, Rafael. How about yourself?
Man, you know what? It's another beautiful Monday, man.
Good, good, good. Hey, thanks for taking some time to talk. I appreciate that.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I'd seen your application, your resume there on Indeed, and
Correct.
so just wanted to reach out because you applied for the traveling superintendent slash project
Yes,
manager
sir.
position we have here at Banyan, and so just wanted to chat with you a bit.
Yep.
So and just kind of share a little bit about the company, and then just ask you to share about yourself, kind of
Okay.
what you're currently doing, what your experience, what you're looking for here, in the future, and then if you've got any questions, just feel free to ask.
No, absolutely.
So yeah, so you located down in Texas, is that right?
Yes, sir. I'm over here in the Arlington area, so it's about 20 minutes out of Dallas.
Okay, cool, awesome. Well, Banyan, we are or our office, we're located in Indianapolis, Indiana, is where we're located at, but we do build nationwide. We are a small and mid-sized commercial construction company, general contractor, and we have, our business model is to develop relationships with franchises and their owners, franchisees, and
Okay.
kind of do from start to finish, working with their owners, finding sites, everything to turnkey to warranty and aftercare. And so one of our main clients that we've had, we built that relationship with, is a high-end salon called Sola Salon Studios. And so we built those in over 30 states, built about 40 of those a year. And then through that relationship, we've also are building for franchise with franchisees for a doggy daycare service called Houndstown USA, and
Okay.
and also doing some, well, it's a Woodhouse day spa. It's like a high end spa, and so that's currently kind of what we are doing. The scope of what we have done are primarily all tenant improvement, tenant build outs.
Okay. So
And
nothing,
so,
nothing from the ground up. Everything is strictly build a suite.
well, we do have currently one ground up going, um, but generally thus far, I mean, obviously it could change. We could go more
Right.
that way, but historically, yeah, it's been primarily tenant build out stuff. So
Okay, that's pretty straightforward.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
the sound of that.
yeah. And
Now,
so
go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
But I was saying, whenever I was looking at your website, you said that you guys are located out of Indiana, but the website I was pulling up was, I guess it is Brownsburg, yeah, or maybe
Brownsburg,
it's not.
yeah, it's outside of Indy, Brownsburg, yeah.
Okay, what about the Pennsylvania site?
Well, we
Is
don't
that
have
just satellite office?
we just have no, we have our one office, but I've got the position listed in different cities,
Oh, okay,
to try
gotcha,
to, yeah,
gotcha.
because we build a lot in the Northeast.
Right.
We're building in right now. We're building in a couple locations in Austin, Texas, there, and so build all over, trying to find folks throughout the country, to add great team members. And so, kind of spreading the net pretty wide, so to speak.
Right, yeah, no doubt. Once you get too spread out, it kind of makes it hard.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Get any other questions at this point?
Yeah, no, you know what I mean. The website that I was looking at, pretty straightforward. It looks like whenever that was going to be one of my questions, is the only build that I saw on there was for the salon.
Right.
Um, so I guess that's primarily what you guys have been doing the last couple of years, yeah.
It has, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're in the process of updating, kind of doing a little website evolution and adding some of those other projects on there. I think there's a Woodhouse project on there in the portfolio, but it looks so similar to the salons. It's like,
Right.
it's not quite, doesn't stand out. So
Now, these franchisees, I'm going to assume these are all different people, not just one umbrella opening up a whole bunch of them, correct?
correct, yeah,
Okay, so good. So work with different people. I like that, doing that a lot too.
yeah, yeah.
As far as myself, what I've been doing the last 4 years has been a lot of residential slash commercial. I think
Mm-hmm.
the biggest thing that you'll be interested in is the chicken ease that I've done. I've done a few of those. That was from demo to punch list.
Okay.
And those have been a good learning experience. And it's just like you said. I mean, once you've done one chickadee, you've kind of done it all. It's kind of one of those things monkeys learn by repetition. So it's just getting the first two underneath your belt.
Okay.
I have been doing my own thing for the last 4 years.
Right.
But the labor side here in the Metroplex, it's just getting to the point where I was telling my wife, about 2 months ago, I was like, I don't know if it's worth it right now. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, labor, materials, the economy right now, it's just such a headache.
Yeah.
And I think the number one thing right now for me has just been the on the labor side. It's just been pretty. It's been a big hoop to jump through.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the things that whenever you say, now, do you guys have designated crews that you guys work with, or we expect you to go into a city and go find the labor? How does that work?
Kind of how our system is set up is we're big on relationships as far as the project management side of things. As far as pre-construction, we do have a pre-construction team in our office that does a lot of that upfront work as far as doing the plan design, permits, creating the scopes. We do line up the main MEPs, with the main subs like your MEPs, and then if we have, if there's any exterior work or sprinkler systems, we get the main ones set up. And then there is some PM responsibilities that come along with the position because it's kind of a hybrid where we do site mobilization. Once site mobilization happens, the superintendent is responsible for finding certain trades, certain subs within the area, whether it's a drywaller, a painter, that sort of thing. We do have some subcontractors that will travel around that we've built relationships with. They'll do different work for us. We do have, we built relationships in different areas and kind of have got a master list of subcontractors that we use in different areas. And then we've also got a team that supports, hey, if anybody, hey, I'm building here and I need to find whatever,
Right.
you need some painters or whatever it may be, or, tile guy or such. Do you have any referrals? And we got, there's a couple of guys here in the office that have been superintendents and that will get on the phone if you're having trouble finding somebody to kind of help that process.
Yeah, I always like to go to floor and decor and to drywall places that sell drywall material to go find those guys.
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing to do once you get into a new city.
Yep.
Okay, so what you're saying is, so on the front end, before job gets to said superintendent or project manager, a lot of that stuff is already handled, yes?
There is a lot of it, yeah. Some of the main ones, like, your HVAC, electrical, plumbing,
right.
And, if there's, I'd say probably in the main 6, if there's sprinkler systems or a lot, those sorts of things, they get set up. That way, when you start, you could kind of hit the ground running and have time to get heads up on the other trades.
Yeah, I definitely like the sign of that. And the reason I ask is right now doing what I'm doing, I do all the site walks, bid walks, deal with the city. I'm a one-man shop essentially. Of course, I have one PM that I hire occasionally whenever I get busy. But for the bigger projects, I like to do myself.
Yeah.
And it's just, dude, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Keeping up with receipts, builder trim, daily logs, budgets. It's just a lot. So once it gets into my hands, who handles budgets, change orders, invoices, submitting the whole nine? Is that just, and then what CMS system do you use?
Currently we do use Buildertrend for project management. And I know that we have a list. I'm not sure if we have a specific CMS. I know we were using Zoho at one point, so I'm not sure with that in that regards to that. But kind of how it works is, we're very much about having a team in the office that supports the field. And so we do have, like I was saying, like we do everything from site surveys, to all those process of creating budgets, creating the scopes. When it comes to, budget questions, change orders, we have resources, we have team members here. I don't know all the details of those specifics. but you're not left hanging, all on your own. We do use bill.com as far as having vendors submit their invoices for getting paid. And so, yeah, I don't know if that explains kind of some of the stuff. Yeah.
Well, it does, because like I said, I mean, me using Buildertrend, I enter in all the invoices. So all that is fine. But if I can get, besides I told Mary, I was like, I want to project manage. Like ownership is a lot of time away from the field.
Yeah.
And I've noticed whenever I've gotten busier, it's hard to focus on the job sites because I'm worried about doing the invoices, keeping up with the budget, making sure everybody's paid. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I have trust issues, so it's really hard for me to hire somebody to handle my money and do all that stuff for me.
Right. Yeah.
So in my head, I was just, I'll just do it all. And it's just with the labor headaches and the invoicing and all the background stuff that has to go on. I just told Mary, and I was like, I think I'm just ready. I need a break. I need to do something for someone else and let me do what I'm good at, and that's manage. And make sure the job goes smoothly.
Right.
And when your hands are in too many pots, it's hard to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, with what you're doing, you're basically doing at least 2 full-time jobs, right?
100%.
What aspect of lining up the jobs, doing, any bids, any estimates, any proposals, to making sure the jobs are running smoothly, to paying everybody. I mean, it's just,
and I've been doing it for 4 years, and I did it through the pandemic, being able to keep everything afloat. I'm just told Mary, and I was like, I treasure my mental sanity.
Yeah.
And if I can't leave work, if work is coming home with me every day of the week, that's an issue. I need to be able to leave work at work and decompress, and I don't have that decompressing time right now. So that's why I'm looking up. I'm wrapping up. Should be wrapping up my last 2 jobs here in the next week, 10 days, and then I'm pretty much open after that.
Okay. So what do you feel like is your strong suit? I mean, I guess the way that it is too is as far as it being a traveling position. I don't know how far you've had to travel for your company or other companies, but we do build. Like I said, we built in the Northeast, East Coast, Florida. We do build throughout the Midwest, and even Arizona. We got some stuff going on in Colorado, and then the West Coast. And so, just obviously the ideal situation would be to keep people closer to their home, but it doesn't always happen. And so, the SOLAs are generally about anywhere from, obviously they work closer to 90 days. And now with the current supply stuff, it's more like 110, 115 days. And so you'd be on the road for, weeks at a time. And so that's just one thing I just, to be transparent about. I don't know what your situation is as far as traveling, on the road, that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, my biggest thing is a little bit of a flexibility. I do got 2 15 and 16-year-old boys, and in the summertime they do travel ball, but I've learned they drive now, so they don't need me.
Right.
And before they were at the stage until they were about 5 or 6, I did restoration for a company, so I was on the road pretty much all the time. And then once they started doing sports and I wanted to coach, I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and stay home. Hence why I started doing my own thing. And then pretty much I'm ready to get back on the road again. They don't need me anymore. Doing the travel ball in the summer, I don't know what the flexibility would look like because they do a lot of tournaments, Florida, Denver, Louisiana, but those are weekend things, so I don't know what the weekend schedule looks like. So, I mean, obviously I want to be at some of the tournaments, but that's a year away. High school ball, I mean, that's just for fun. I'm not worried about high school ball, but it's a tournament ball that I would like to get to on the weekends come the summertime. But like I said, that's negotiable. I don't have to be at every one. But I would like to let that be known that, hey, on those weekends, I might want to go out to Orlando for 4 days, depending on what those tournaments are. But outside of that, I mean, travel, that's kind of my forte.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm trying to think. I don't know that I'd asked, or I don't think with the position, it wasn't something that was in the screening questions, or maybe I didn't see it on there, but as far as, like pay, like salary requirement, salary range, I didn't know where you were at on that. I didn't know, because it's listed from anywhere from like 60,000 to 100,000 a year, annually. And so, so that's what I was curious,
Okay, well, tell me a little bit more about what you guys do and do not pay for. What about travel, expenses, on the road, hotels, the whole nine? How does that work?
Yeah, Banyan does pay for lodging, pays for fuel. It is a there's a truck allowance, and
Right.
supers drive their own truck. There's a truck allowance, and then Banyan pays for fuel, like traveling to the job. Like, hey, I'm going to a job in Philly, so I'm going to drive there. Banyan covers the cost of the fuel there, and then back home the jobs done, and then you've got like as far as job related stuff, running errands, going to Home Depot, whatever. Banyan covers the fuel of that as well too. And then there's also a per diem for food. It's $30 a day it's figured at like $300 for 300 days. Sorry. So it's like $9,000 for, per diem for food. And so with the truck allowance, per diem, with all of, those things, and then we've got another kind of a reimbursable fringe benefit it gets close to the top of that range, where we got it listed, and then there's potential to bonus up to like $10,000 on each job, not your first job, but depending on the size of the job, I think there's potential for about 20 grand in bonuses for the year. The bigger jobs, you get a bigger bonus because they're going to take longer. Smaller jobs would be shorter, so you maybe be able to do more of them, and so that kind of that sort of situation.
Okay, all right. So the gas is just big trips here and there, there and back, but not daily while you're there. It's not like you have a fuel card per se.
No, you'd have a card while you're there. Like if you're, for job related stuff, for work. Yeah, that Banyan would cover those costs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and the bonus track, you said bonus of about 20,000 a year, per diem, lodging. Okay, but with everything mentioned, I would like to be around that 80,000 mark. Sounds about right if those expenses are covered.
Right.
80, 85 would be kind of where I'd want to live at.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like we're in the ballpark. So, cool. So, how would, just a couple of questions, just kind of randomly, how would either subcontractors or people that you worked with on the sites, what words would they use? How would they describe you?
Transparency. I like everything to be black and white.
Okay.
Especially when it comes with clients. Did you pay for it? Did you not pay for it? I mean, I'm open book. That's why I keep like daily logs. Whenever I do my bid, it's pretty much broken down room by room. That way you can say, hey, did we pay for the trim on the door? Well, no, let's look at the bid. Yes, you did pay for it. That's covered. No, it's not. That's a change order. Especially when it comes to the work. One of the best things about me when that I've learned with dealing with clients is I have a good construction knowledge along with the sales background knowledge. So I'm pretty good with being able to negotiate pretty much any conversation with, a guy from New York or a guy from, country bumpkin town in Texas. I can manage that conversation either way. Be extremely professional or be extremely laid back. I'll let whoever I'm talking to being dictate that. And it's friendly. I mean, I'm a nice guy as long as you do what you say you're going to do. If you do what you say you're going to do when you're going to do it, I've got no problems with you. But if you're not going to, I have no problems letting them know in a nice way. Hey, dude, I want to pay you for this. I told you what the expectation is. If you want to get paid, here's what you need to do. If not, let me know, and I can bring somebody else. But I'd rather pay you because we've already been doing business. So it's the openness and the upfront. I learned in sales many, many days ago that if it's a stormy day outside, be honest. Don't tell them it's bright and sunny.
Right.
I'd rather deal with the curveball and get ahead of it than keep it hush hush and then all of a sudden it's blowing up because nobody knew. And you tried covering it, not covering it up, but handling it on your own. If you see an issue, be vocal about it. Like, hey, here's something that either I didn't tell you about, I didn't see this happening, or it's a curveball. In construction, you
Mhm.
get those.
Yeah.
So and you got to handle it either way. I should have known it and I didn't, and here's the outcome of it. Or like I said, things happen in construction you can't be ready for.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. To be able to have the foresight to be able to communicate those things up front. I mean, it's huge to be able to tackle problems in advance, right? Before they grow up, snowball.
Oh, 100%. I've learned that.
Yeah.
Like I said, you only do that once or twice before you learn the hard way. It's just not worth it.
Yeah. Okay. So prior to your own business, it looks like you've done some work for J&T developers,
Right.
residential projects, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's like you were at ProWay Roofing and Exteriors for a bit,
Yep.
and then some
And then I was doing
other.
my own thing again, and I had my own roofing company, and that's how Tech Supreme started. Was the roofing company, started doing smaller projects, and then I came on with ProWay and did multiple things with them. Handled a lot of their insurance claims. Is kind of where my rise to fame there was, dealing with
Right.
AAA. We were an approved inspector. We
Okay.
couldn't we couldn't call us our guys consultants. So what we did is go out there and do the scope of work for them, submit it to AAA, and they approve it. Hence, we turned around and did the work. So
Yeah.
we were kind of there from beginning to end with dealing with the insurance.
Yeah. Okay.
Then kind of one thing led to another there, and I started doing a little bit of consulting with ProWay, for another roofing company, and he had a phenomenal idea. Um, so it was, I can't remember the company now that they started. Um, but what we did was we hired a team of sales guys, and all we did was strictly sell, and we did it for
Hmm.
one company, and we were very successful on it. Well, then we brought on company 2 and 3, and so we hired more team members. Everything going great. And then the owner started getting really greedy. And he was like, "Hey, we'll do it for you, but you've got to pay 50,000 for us to do it." One thing led to another. Within about 7 months, we had 8 different companies that we were selling for in over our heads. And I just watched a phenomenal idea blow up because of greediness.
Yeah.
And it was such a shame because they had a business model in sales, especially in roofing, that wasn't being done.
Hmm.
And they ran it into the ground, unfortunately. But it
Yeah.
was it was a good experience to see something that had so much potential, and all of a sudden, within a matter of 60 days, overcommitting and being done.
Yeah. That's a shame.
Yeah, yeah, it
That you
does
said
because
you said that was ProWay or.
yeah. I started out with ProWay like that, yeah,
Mm.
and then
Okay.
went to J&T because I wanted to get some residential project management experience under my belt. And so I went there with J&T, and they actually were the ones who got me on the builder trend back then. And ever since then, I've used builder trend. But I wanted to get some experience with J&T on bigger projects. Did that, and then with my background, I'm in sales and talking to people. One thing kind of led to another, and I was just like, well, shoot, I might as well be the middleman. If I know all the contacts, know the suppliers, I can
Yeah.
sell the jobs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I started doing my own thing, pretty quick again.
Okay. Cool. So, I guess, just tell me a little bit more about your own company and what all projects you've done. You said, was it a restaurant, chicken something? Is that
Yeah,
what you said?
yeah, Chicken Express. Mm-hmm.
Chicken Express. Okay. Okay. You said you've done a couple of those. Are those ground up or what were those?
No, those are just straight meat remodels. The whole store revamping. So they're an older chicken joints that have been around for a long time. And I guess it was in 2015, 2016. They told all their franchises that you have 8 years to
Yeah.
redo all your stores.
Mm-hmm.
And so one guy that I did it for, he happened to own 3, so I did 3 of them.
Okay.
And I like
Cool.
doing that. I learned a lot on my first one.
Yeah.
But after 1 and 2, monkeys learn by repetition. You get the hang of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a cool experience to be doing those. and then after that, I did a physical therapy office.
Okay.
With the chickadees, I think the biggest thing was the detail in the plans.
Yeah.
There's a few things that I overlooked that I didn't know, wasn't pointed out to me whenever I was doing the bid, that I had to take a loss on. And then once again, you only do that once.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the first one. Was a huge learning curve on reading plans and knowing how to fully understand them.
Right.
Like I didn't realize how important the PVC pipe in the 6-inch wall was for your soda lines.
Right.
I was off 8 inches. That was a huge deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't that I was off; it was plumber was off whenever he installed everything. And
Yeah.
Obviously, when I was looking at plans, yep, that looks right. It looks what I should was that looks about right. 8 inches
Yeah.
off cost me a little bit of money. So the finer details in looking at the plans that I learned from dealing with the chicken expresses.
Yeah.
Like I said, guys learn one or two ways. You either hit their pocketbook or they have a medical bill. That's how guys learn. Go to the hospital or it costs them money.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, and then the pretty much everything else has been primarily like residential, so to speak.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's been everything from additions to high-end remodels.
Yeah. Okay. Any ground up experience on that? Not that it's entirely relevant, but
yeah, no, on the additions. Yeah, on
Yeah.
the additions, everything has been from the ground up. Have I done a full house from the ground up? No. I think the biggest that I've done has been a 900 square foot addition attached to the house, along with a few others that are bedroom suites and bathrooms that are around that 600 square foot mark.
Okay. All right, cool.
But one thing I've learned about construction, no matter how size the job, whether it's a $30,000 job or $600,000 job, it's the same stats.
Yeah.
It's A before B.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely. Cool. Hey, well, what questions? Other questions you got for me?
No, I'm on the travel. Now, are you on the job site from beginning to end, or is there like you're gone for 30 days, come back? How does that work out?
No, you're on it. You're on it from beginning to end.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, I mean, some guys, get home about every 4 weeks. Some guys try to get home a little earlier. It just depends on their, their schedule, how close it is, what's going on with the job, and other certain parts of the job, certain times of the job where there's a lot more flexibility to get away and get back home. So it just kind of depends. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, like I said, with that situation there, I need to change. I'm looking for something different.
Right.
That's really primarily what I need as a break. And let me project manage. I don't want to be doing the back of the house stuff all day, every day.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm good at. I'm good at talking and good at negotiating prices. That's what
Yeah.
I find.
Right.
Is meeting up with subs and giving me their price, and here's why I needed $8,000 less.
Yeah.
Getting them to convince why.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the fun part for me.
Cool. Well, hey, awesome. I appreciate you taking the time to chat here. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out with any questions.
I've got everything right there. If I have anything else, I'll reach out to you.
Okay, cool. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Thanks. Yep.
Okay.